Okay. Um, so it's a little bit challenging to do a Zoom session for me on Zoom while you're using Zoom. So this is going to be an interactive type activity that we're going to do here. Okay. And what I want to do is I just kind of want to talk about some of the very basics about video conferencing and things to keep in mind when you're using video conferencing equipment like this, and some of the features that you would have access to if you choose to go with Zoom opposed to something like a private Facebook group or something along those lines. Okay, so this is Zoom. Everyone can sign up at Zoom and get a free account. Free accounts right now are limited to 40 minutes, although I have had somebody tell me that they've used it several times for more than 40 minutes and not had a problem. They just get a message about, hey, you know, you have a 40-minute time limit. You might want to think about upgrading your package. But right now, figure you have at least 40 minutes on the Zoom free version. You don't need anything from me to get that started. You can just go to zoom.com and click on the box and get a free license. Try it out. You know, use it a little bit. Use it maybe for virtual office hours or something like that. You can have unlimited sessions. It's just that the time limit on those is capped somewhere around 40 minutes. Okay. So what I'd like everybody to do right now is if you're on a laptop, particularly, but you have the tools option too if you're on a tablet or a phone, just to take a look at the tools real quick. And somebody tell me what tools do you see available to you in your, like that bottom toolbar if you're on a desktop right now?
You see the start video.
Okay.
You see the invite icon.
Yeah.
The number of participants, the share screen, the chat icon, the record, and the reactions icon. And then in red on the bottom right-hand side, you see a leave meeting message.
Okay.
Now, if you click on the arrow next to the mute button, you can select a microphone, select a speaker, et cetera. And then if you click on the start video, you can go to the integrated webcam, the video settings, and the choose virtual background.
Awesome. Awesome. You get a gold star.
Thank you.
You get a gold star. Okay.
I'm going to mute now.
Okay. Does somebody want to click the participants button and tell me what you see when you click on the participants button?
Everybody that's online.
You see everybody that's online. And next to their name, do you see like a telephone or a microphone or a camera icon? Do you guys see that?
I did earlier.
It would be on that.
But I don't see.
There. I'm sorry, Jazar. It is there. There's a microphone icon and a camera icon.
Yep.
And right now, my camera icon has a red slash through it, but my microphone is operative.
Yes, and those are the tools that people have available. So if you see a telephone there, that means that person is actually called in. So they may not have a webcam or a microphone available to them. So for the sound portion of the conference, they're using a telephone.
And you also have a round circle with a red dot vibrating in it.
Yes.
And, okay.
Yep. And that one indicates that I'm recording. I'm recording the session, okay, so I can share it with people that weren't able to be at this session right now. Yep.
Quick question.
Sure.
Are you, the host, the only one who has the option to record? I know we've got record down at the bottom in our toolbar, but is it operable or no?
To the best of my knowledge, only the host can record, but let's see what happens. Go ahead and click on it.
Oh, okay.
Give it a shot.
Oh, it says, please request recording permission from the meeting host.
Yep.
Gotcha.
Yep. Let's talk. Yep. That is definitely, that's correct.
Could you repeat that?
Only the host has the authority to record.
Okay.
If a guest tries to record, they would be prompted to contact the host.
Okay.
Only the host has the ability to record. So go ahead.
Shit, where'd you go? I lost you.
I'm still here.
What did I do that all of a sudden I got this? How easy was that? Get your own account for free.
Maybe it's a window behind a window.
Oh God, hold on a minute. Sorry, you guys. Keep going. I'll try to figure this out.
You're okay. And that's what this whole session is about, is just kind of getting familiar with it, understanding what some of the tools are and what they do, and just using it. So we talked about the participant window, so we can see who's on the call. We can see what kind of tools they're using. I also, as the host, have the ability, I can mute anybody. I can also unmute anybody. You have those privileges as the host, just like I can record the session because I'm the host. I have the ultimate control over who's able to speak and when they're able to speak. Okay.
One more thing, I'm sorry.
Sure, no, jump in, LT.
Ever since we clicked on the participant group, I have an option to raise hand. What happens if you press that? Will the host see that I have a question, or
Yep.
I'm just curious?
Yep, go ahead and press it. Go ahead and press it, and it then lets me know that somebody has their hand raised.
Oh, okay, but do you have to have that chat open then to see that? I'm assuming.
I do. Yeah, it moved you up to the top.
Okay.
And I can see you have a little blue hand right now.
Yeah, I see that on my screen too.
Yeah.
Right, I'm lowering it now though.
And then that dropped you back down into the list. But when your hand went up, it moved you up into the top of the participant list.
Okay, so I can tell students that. Okay.
Yep.
All right.
Really, the biggest thing with managing a video conference like this is your sound. Proper etiquette best practice would be, again, everybody's mics are muted unless they are actively participating at the time. If you get 20 people talking on this at the same time, it's really tough to figure out who's saying what. So some of it is just etiquette, taking turns. And then some of it is the avoidance of feedback. And for whatever reason, like Dr. Bracey she's having some trouble. It could be her microphone is too close to her speakers, and that may be what's causing the problem. It could also be that her sound is too high, and that is also causing a problem. Okay?
So, Lisa, I got rid of my video, and then all of a sudden, everything moved to the side. Everybody that was logged on is missing, and it says you are viewing Rushi screen. Oh, yep. Now you're back.
Yeah,
Sorry, guys.
No, you're okay. That's what we're here to do. So she chose to share her screen, okay. and I don't have that. I can lock that out so that people can't do that, but I haven't. So she chose to share her screen. So that's what we were seeing was her screen and what she's doing there. I also have the ability to give control of like my mouse to someone else. So while you guys are looking at my screen, I could give control to LT, and she could actually drive, and click things and move stuff around on my computer.
Lisa?
Yes.
It's Patrick Dean.
Hey.
Hey. How would we lock that out so that students can't take over the screen?
When you create the meeting itself, it's in those settings when you're creating the meeting. You can say, like, I don't want anybody to have access, or I don't want them to, you can say, I don't want them to have access to the room until I start the conference. You can put in things like they have to have a password to get into it, so that when you email out the invitation, the password is in there along with the meeting code, but it's just, again, another layer of security that you can add in there.
So it's a setting when you start a new meeting.
Yeah, it's when you create the meeting, you can set all of those parameters at that time.
Okay, thank you.
Uh-huh.
Lisa, it's Laura.
Yeah.
Is there a way to mute all students at the same time?
There is. At the top of my screen, as the host, I have actually it's down. I lied. It's at the bottom of the participants window. I have a mute all, unmute all option, and I can do that. I can also set it when people come in that they're muted by default, or their microphones are open. I can make it I can make it so if I mute you, you can't unmute yourself. That you have to stay muted. I have those kinds of options.
So when you're the host, you have the option of unmuting your audience during your presentation and then turning it back on at a later time if you want to allow them to come back in?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep, you can do that. There's also, I don't know if you guys can hear the chime when people are coming in and going out of the meeting.
I can hear it.
I can turn that on and turn it off too. I can say don't play, don't play a sound when someone comes in or goes out.
Lisa?
Uh-huh.
Do we have that same option to shut off their camera so that they can't have their camera on?
Yeah, we can mute their cameras too. Yep, I can do that.
All right, thank you.
See, now we got another screen share right now, which is cool. Very cool.
And they did that by pressing that little green button at the bottom that says share?
Yep.
Okay.
It says share.
Any of us can do it?
Yep, I have it open, so anybody can do it. I can also have an option to share computer sound along with my screen. I can just share sound. You can actually have more than one person share at a time. That's another screen option. Like if I say multiple, I just set it to that. Multiple participants can share simultaneously. So if two people wanted to try to share something now, we should be able to see both of those things.
This is Ed Dix. Would that be a split screen if two people are sharing?
Yes.
Okay.
If you want to see what it looks like, somebody, like I said, two people jump on and try.
Lisa, this is Jazar. I'm trying, and when I hit share screen, it says select a window or an application. I selected the screen, but it's showing whiteboard, iPhone, iPad, my Perceptives, my email.
If you clicked on, like, was one of those a website you just mentioned?
I don't know what it was in the background. It says you were viewing Jennifer Medlin.
Right.
And now I'm viewing an email.
Yep.
So I don't understand why can't I?
You have to pick one. It's asking you what you want to share. So you have to click on a window.
What I did was I picked the screen that we're on.
Okay, well, you can't share what we're already sharing, so try picking something else.
What do you guys see?
Nobody is sharing right now.
Oh, do I have to hit share?
Yeah, now it says.
There you go.
There you go.
Okay.
We can see it, Jazar.
Yep.
How do I get out of it?
How do you stop sharing?
Wait, no, I see. No.
You want to go back down to the little green box and tell it to stop sharing.
Okay. The problem is my green box is missing.
So is that a toggle key as well? The green box operates as a toggle key?
There's, well, right now at the top, because I just shared my screen up by the meeting ID. Yeah. That's my tools move to the top when I started sharing. There's a red button that says stop sharing.
Right.
And if I click on that, it'll kick back out.
Okay, so if you click on share screen, it'll share it, but then you gotta go. What about the X in the upper right hand corner? Does that work as well?
For the screen share? Let me see.
I think that closes your window on your computer.
Okay.
Yeah, that would be my guess. That's going to actually close your Zoom session.
Gotcha.
I can also tell you each time you do this, the better you get at it. There's a lot of if you have ADD, there's a lot happening here, and a lot to manage. Jamie and I have had some really good success doing it as a team. You can set up like a co-host and have somebody help you moderate the comments, along with muting microphones and managing sound and those sorts of things. All right, is there any questions?
Lisa, I'm sorry, it's Jazar
Uh-huh.
again. Never mind, it's gone now. It said I was sharing your screen and it had a picture of like the start of our program.
It was just the Zoom website that I had pulled up. I have a like a best practices guide, like a step-by-step for getting started with Zoom, and I'm going to share that out as well. Looks like, wait, there's a message in the chat. How exactly do we decide whether to use Facebook Zoom in conjunction with like e-learning? You know what, it's really what's going to meet the needs of your students and what you're trying to accomplish. I don't think that there is any, there hasn't been any direction by the administration that you have to use one thing over another thing. So it's a matter of what's going to meet the needs, your needs and the needs of your students, and what are you most comfortable with working with. I think, to me, Facebook is a much simpler platform than Zoom, using the Facebook groups, particularly since it has the screen sharing option as well, and you can break things up by units and that sort of thing. I think it's a simpler product. But maybe for somebody else, they don't. They don't. You know, I have a question for you guys. I'm really I'm struggling to figure out how to disseminate all this information, because I want you guys to be able to share comments and things that you're finding as well. And I think what I'm going to actually do is create a Facebook group, a private Facebook group for teaching and learning. So everyone you can have conversations, you can share resources, you can ask questions, and opposed to me, sending the same email, to people, like answering the same question 10 times, like it would all be in one place, kind of more of a repository. Is anybody like totally against that? Because if I put it up on a web page, that's only one-sided. You can't ask questions to the web page, and I thought if I used a group, we could have more of a conversation about some of these things.
Works for me, Lisa.
Say.
Also, I had a question, because you said you could decide which medium you wanted to use to teach from, whether it be Facebook or Zoom or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I was in the workshop today about using Facebook for instruction and video. And one of the instructors had mentioned that his 3-hour class, his online presentation, his usual class is 3 hours, but the online presentation was 1 hour and 15 minutes. And that was a little timely. And did you say it, or did someone else say that around 30 minutes is about the best attention span that you can expect for giving online instruction?
Well, it really depends on the person, but chunking material is better than trying to do a big, huge thing.
Long drawn out presentation.
Yeah, people, you just lose their attention span. I mean, we find, like, from a marketing standpoint, Anything over 3 minutes and you've lost people's attention span. Now with a lecture, I would hope it would be a little bit better, right? They got a vested interest in it.
I'm getting ready to say that's going to be kind of difficult to do
Right.
in 3 minutes, but
Right.
I understand.
But
Yeah.
I would, if you can do it in smaller pieces and then give them an opportunity to engage, I think you're going to keep their attention a lot better than if it's a 2-hour long video piece. And that's something you have to think about.
Right.
Does it really have to be done in video? Or
Gotcha.
is there already a YouTube piece out there that's really great on what you're
a tutorial that you could use.
Or a tutorial you could use, or some kind of exercise. Like, is there some other way to get that across? Because you have all these resources that are different now than when you teach face-to-face.
Exactly. Thank you.
Sure. I have a hand. Laura, do you have a question?
I do actually.
All right.
For this session,
yes.
Would you be able to show us how, maybe answer if it's possible to, let's say, upload our Zoom session to Moodle for any student who may have missed out?
Sure. I wouldn't upload it to Moodle. Couple of things that you have to keep in mind with Moodle. PowerPoints should be converted to PDF, and videos should be uploaded to something like YouTube, made like private YouTube videos. And what you're going to embed in Moodle is going to be the link to your video. So whether you decide to store that video on YouTube or Vimeo or a Google Dropbox or whatever, if you load, well, there's a couple of different reasons, okay? One, videos need to be properly compressed for students to be able to play those and it to be a smooth experience, right? So if you take like an uncompressed video and you throw it out there, like it's going to kill somebody's like their data and their bandwidth. So if you upload it to something like YouTube, they optimize it for a mobile experience, number one. Number two, a video or PowerPoints like that you get from the publisher with all these graphics and that kind of thing, they are huge files. And what we are set up for with our current Moodle instance isn't what we're doing right now. We don't have the capacity to accommodate all of those huge files. And so if you load a bunch of stuff into your course, that's these big, huge files, when we go to run the backups, your course is gonna have a problem. and to avoid that, don't upload video to YouTube. Or I'm sorry, to Moodle. Use something like a YouTube. So it's really super easy to get your Zoom recording. Zoom will actually even give you a link to your recording. So when at the end of this, when I tell it to stop the recording, it will run through a process of like compressing that file, and it will send me a link that if I want to play to share my video with somebody, it will give me a Zoom link to be able to do that, and it will actually give me access to the actual, like an actual file recording. So you really don't have to do anything if you just want to use that Zoom link to be able to share it out. That was a long answer to your question, I know.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
Did it make sense?
It did, yes.
Okay.
Lisa?
Yes.
Patrick Dean, I'm just going to follow that up because I have been doing that before the Corona thing.
Yeah.
So in Zoom, once you end the meeting, Zoom does its compression thing, and it actually creates that file in a Zoom, document box. And I haven't recorded. It gives you a choice to record to your device or record to the cloud. So far, I've been recording to my device and then uploading it to YouTube. I was doing this as, even last semester. And that works way, way better. The students are used to it. It works great. And in Moodle, all you have to do is in the activities resource box, you just pick the URL choice and you copy that URL right into that tool in Moodle. And then when they click it, it takes them out to the video, and it works really well. So I would recommend anybody who's going to use videos to do it that way. I haven't uploaded to the Zoom cloud because I don't know how people will get to that? Is it a URL link, or are they going to have to join Zoom to see those cloud videos?
Well, I know there's only so much cloud storage available, depending on what your license level is. And on the basic one, I don't think there's any cloud storage. So you would want to do that. You'd want to do that locally.
So then the question is, what is the level of the license I'm using on Zoom right now? Am I using the free service, or?
No, you have a pro level license.
Okay.
The basic license, I don't think you can record with a free basic license.
You have a lot of access to stuff.
I don't think there's recording.
Okay, so I can only speak, for pre-coronavirus. So I know Laura was asking about video. It really helps, but I would save it on your device and load it to YouTube. I've had real good success with that.
Got it. Thanks, Patrick.
And again, different things are going to work differently for different people. Like if you're keeping office hours, you're not recording your office hours. You know what I mean? If you're trying to create a file that you're pushing out to students, and if Zoom's, if that's not going to work for you, again, there are other options, there are other things, and you can record directly to YouTube as well, and just create a private YouTube video, and then share the link off of that. Again, with Facebook groups, you can do screen share and Facebook Live videos there as well, and then those are the repository. There's lots of different options. It just really depends on what you're trying to do. And if you want to, as you're gathering all this information, if you find you have other questions or you're not finding a tool that meets your need, just let me know and we'll help you find a tool.
I did have one other question. You had mentioned using this for office hours.
Yep.
Is there a way that students could use the same link over and over again, and we could set it up as something that's reoccurring, let's say my office hours are on Tuesdays and Thursdays, or does there have to be a new link sent to students inviting to the office hour?
We are using the same link over and over for the getting started with Moodle sessions. We are reusing that link. Again, it's something we can test out, or you can test out, to make sure that it's going to work for you. But we are reusing that link for the Moodle session. So we used it twice yesterday. We've used it once so far today. We'll be using it again at 5 o'clock tonight, and then 2 more times tomorrow.
Got it. Thanks. Laura? Yeah.
The other thing is, in Zoom, I found that I'm assigned, it's a 10-digit number that's broken up 3, 3, and then 4 digits. That's really the key. So because I loaded the Zoom app onto my iPad to see how it would work, and then I joined it to my computer, and all the student really needs is that access number. You're going to be, it's almost like an account number for you.
Right. That's
Once they plug that in and you're on, they can come in.
Got it. Thank you.
Any other questions?
Yeah, how do we do this?
Which part?
That guy just says, oh, it's just like having an account number. You just put the number in and then you're on Zoom.
I hope to give you information on how to do that.
Well, I do have a guide that I'm going to send out. But I mean, that's part of what the call here is now, to kind of answer some basic questions, and how does it work? What does it do? And it may not be the right tool for you. Maybe you don't need to do video conferencing at all. Don't feel like you have to use any one of these tools. We're all just making the best out of a really awful situation right now, and just do what works for you and what works for your students, and how are you going to be able to communicate and provide instruction best.
May I ask a question?
Sure.
Can we share Zoom accounts if you pay for it and share with another couple of instructors? Is that possible? So we can have more than 40 minutes for a session?
If you find that you have a need for more than 40 minutes and that Zoom is the best tool for you, let me know that, and we will work with you.
Okay, because I've used Zoom in other courses and others, et cetera. Yes, it works best. 40 minutes is just really tight. What I want to do is involve the students to give them a chance to present during the class time, so it's not only me talking. So I want them to make presentations of their research, their findings, or share their PowerPoints, et cetera. But 40 minutes just doesn't work.
Okay, well, shoot me an email to ssconline@ssc.edu, and let's talk about it. I mean, we do have some licensing. We can get additional licensing, but we want to make sure it's the right tool for the for the person and what they're trying to do. If it makes sense, it doesn't necessarily make sense for us to give every single person a Zoom account, because not everybody is going to use that, and some people they don't need more than 40 minutes. So we just need to, like I said, we can make accommodations. We can provide the tools. I just need to know who needs what, and once you decide, what's the best mode for you.
Okay.
But again, the email address is ssconline@ssc.edu. And if you're joining us late, please be sure to type your full name into the chat to help me kind of keep track of who was able to be with us today.
Okay, I can do that.
Okay.
You said SSC.
Here, I'll type it in the chat. It's ssconline at ssc.edu. It's our regular tech support email address.
Lisa, you're doing a great job. Everyone in IT is wonderful.
Thanks, Jennifer. We appreciate you guys being patient with us, because I know you guys are scrambling, but holy smokes. It's
Lisa,
a lot of people.
Yes, Lisa, thank you. This is Jazar. So say I wanted to advise with my student. Well, I think we're going to be using, our department's going to be using the 360.
360 is another option. I don't think it's available yet, but I know they're working on that, 365.
Right, that's right, 365. And we were told in our department that that's what we were going to be working through.
Yeah, as soon as that comes up and is available to everyone, I'm sure we'll be offering training on that as well.
So if we begin remotely, as of tomorrow, how would we, how would I contact my students? How would I know? Versus we're gonna all have the same email response, in our email, I believe, and then also our voicemail. But if it's not set up, how do students contact us so we can help them in the meantime?
Well, there is another option, like another resource. There's Google Voice is another option you guys may want to look into. It would allow you to have a phone number that's not really your phone number. And so when this is all done and over with, you can kind of, delete that account and walk away from it. So if you end up having to use your cell phone to make, like return calls to students, it's a little bit better than it coming up, blocked, no caller ID kind of thing. But to have a disposable number, Google Voice it's an app, and you just download it to your phone. It basically lets you pick, what area of the country you'd like a number from, and it assigns you a number. And then when somebody calls, that app rings, and you're able to, talk with that person. So that's one option. I'm working remotely today, And it's, you know, I'm using Google Voice, I'm using my email, I have VPN access back into the college. I have all the same resources here that I would have in my office.
Can we, we wouldn't happen to know if we could, like, if we were to forward our call to our phone, our cell numbers show up if a student called?
If it's on a forward, it doesn't, but when you call that student back, it would. I did check with IT, and we are not set up for everyone to be able to forward their phones. That's not an option that they had available at this time. Now that may change, but I had a couple of different conversations with Bob Reynolds about it, and it's not something the college has the licensing to do for everybody. But the upside is when somebody calls my extension, I get an email with the voice call. And so I can listen to the message. I know that they called because I have my email up and open, and, you know, I have a notification. So I know I have a message, so then I can just turn around and call them back. Using
but then they have your cell number.
Not if I'm using Google Voice, they don't.
Okay.
They have my Google Voice number.
Okay.
And then I can
But the cell number doesn't pop up when you call back with your to your Google Voice app.
Yeah, if I call through my Google Voice app, they only see my Google Voice number.
Okay. So are you calling from your computer then, or from your handset?
I'm using my smartphone.
And so you have the Google Voice app open when you call them back.
Right.
Okay, I understand.
Yep.
Okay. Okay, I've got Google Voice numbers. I'm all set up for that. Got to put that on my smartphone too. My smartphone is getting tired. Don't put one more thing on me, please.
No, nothing else. Yeah, Google Voice, and you know, you may just try it. You know, call your house phone, call something else with caller ID or whatever. Verify, you know, that it works, and that should do it for you. If you don't want to go to that hassle, you can go into, like, if you have. I'm not an Android person, but you can go into your settings on your iPhone and you can shut your caller ID off. It just comes up as, you know, like blocked or no caller ID.
Right.
Right. A lot of people won't answer those calls, but
right. That looks like a junk call. Yeah.
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 Yeah, it does.
Okay.
But try it out. Okay. Try Google Voice out. Test it for yourself. See if it works for you. And if it does, that's an option. Okay. Anything else I know we kind of got off topic here a little bit, but anything else I can answer for anybody? I'm going to go ahead and shut the recording off.